How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm Sam Holcman. The topic for this particular broadcast is actually 3 words. One word is malware, another word is disinformation, and another word is misinformation. And as we move forward in our technology domains that most of us are interested in, and with artificial intelligence becoming more and more important, these words are kind of important to us. So let's just take a quick understanding, at least bring you a quick understanding of what those words are, at least from our opinion. Misinformation, very common, of course. And we look at the concept of misinformation as incorrect or misleading information for you and I, no matter what the intent is. Some of it may be innocent, some of it may not be so innocent. Disinformation, the easiest way to put it is it's an untruth, a lie. It is deliberate. And the purpose is to influence or to cover up things or push people in a specific direction. So, misinformation, let's say it's a mistake that is probably innocent. Disinformation, It's very purposeful. Now, malware. That is basically software designed to do something every time it runs, and generally we have to say it's disinformation. In other words, malware is there to disrupt or get people to think in a certain direction. Now, here's what we have to understand in this, I'll use the phrase, new world we're in with artificial intelligence and the speed of what is going on. According to some studies that have been done, and this is a gentleman named Joel Roth, and the study was done relatively recently, 90% of impressions on an online post are generated within the first 3 hours. Meaning, if there is disinformation out there, the first 3 hours is the most crucial. So if you find something out there that's, let's say, more than 3 hours away, 5 hours away, the next day, the next month, a little late. Think about that for a moment. We'll be back in just a second.
So you want to advance your career and see enterprise architecture as a key component to this advancement. Or you're an enterprise architect and you want to be more effective in addressing business and technology needs. You want to create highly effective solutions that deal with the ever-evolving changes in businesses and organizations. But accumulating the knowledge and certification to do that can be a challenge. That's why EACOE created a one-of-a-kind certification workshop for enterprise architects. The workshops will teach you proven step-by-step enterprise architecture techniques that you can use for addressing continuous business and organizational change and give you the certification you need to progress in your career. Want to learn more? Then visit eacoe.org.
Welcome back. We're chatting about the concepts of disinformation, misinformation, and malware. One other thing about disinformation, unfortunately, is it's cheap. It's very cheap to do and very, 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 very fast. Now, let's be a little bit positive. Sometimes people are wrong. Now, the question for us as we go into this artificial intelligence activity is, can AI be wrong? Well, of course. But think about disinformation and what people can do by putting more and more disinformation out there to actually influence the AI responses. And that may be something that, may be a little bit difficult. Underlying all of this in the United States, of course, is the First Amendment. And we have to remember, the legal situation here. And if some of you don't know about Section 230, which is underlying all of the things that we see on the internet and the concept of liability, private companies have the ability to determine what they believe facts are and moderate people's posts accordingly because they're private companies. And that would, include Google and Facebook and Twitter and things like that. I know people are unhappy about that, but that's, the way things are. So as we go into the future activities, artificial intelligence and things like that, and how you and I and our enterprises and business may affect this, this is some of the things we need to think about. And in my May webinar, which is 1 hour long, not the 5 minutes or so that we tend to chat on a daily basis with you on, we'll be discussing how to possibly address this. Unfortunately, I can't address it in just 5 minutes. Stay well and stay tuned.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.